Good afternoon. Welcome to Akwaaba Yoga. Today's Sunday, the 12th of July. I'm jumping back on the mats. If you've been joining before, my name is Mark, and it's a pleasure to be leading the session today. Thanks to Leah, to Nagin, to Michael, to Stefan for leading the sessions over the past few weeks. I know I've dipped in a little bit. But yeah, I'm back today. And you're going to try and increase the pace a little bit for today's session. So I think we've got some regulars joining in. But yeah, as always, go at your own pace, really listen to your body, and most of all, enjoy. So yeah, let's get cracking. Let's jump on the mats. Afternoon, D-Man. Always a pleasure, sir. We are gonna start on our backs. So come on to a seated position. Yes, come into Shavasana. Actually, let's take Supta Baddha Konasana. So feet together, knees apart. And putting our right hand on our belly, our left hand on our hearts. You're just taking a moment just to arrive on a mat as we prepare for our practice. I say prepare for our practice. This is part of the practice. Moments of stillness, where we just come into our breath and just align our movement as we take in an inhale and an exhale. We'll feel our right hand raising up on the belly and falling back towards the spine. All this forms a yoga practice. Yoga is not about what we often see on Insta with the various impressive, as they may be, headstands and forearm stands. Yoga is a way of life, it's a culture. An ability to tune in with our mind, to become more mindful, more centered. It's a really important way for us to discover more about ourselves, and helps us to release stuff like anxiety and stress and fear. So as we're lying on our backs with our eyes closed, really enjoy this moment, because quite often during the working week, it's rare that we allow ourselves to slow down. We find the time to slow down. Let's start to come into our Ujjayi breath. As we inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the nose. The left hand on the heart, we should feel a gentle heartbeat. Here for a couple more rotations of breath. If your eyes are closed, just start to blink them open. Let's start to draw the knees up together so they're pointing towards the ceiling. Take our feet so the hip distance apart, soles of the feet hip distance apart. I'm going to start to just windscreen the legs over to the left and to the right. Again, just go towards that point where you're starting to come into a stretch through the lower back. Maybe slightly into the quads, the outside of the thighs. It's a gentle twist as we go from left to right. And again, just try and coordinate your movement with your breath. Maybe inhale into the top and exhale as you drop your knees. Just keep that movement going. Let's come back towards center. I'm going to draw the knees into the chest. Take it into the legs around the shins. Bring the head up towards the knees. Give yourself a nice hug in. And then let's start to lengthen out the legs so the shins are parallel to the floor. Ladies, if that's comfortable for you today, you can keep it there. Particularly if it's that time of the month. Otherwise, if it's comfortable for us all to raise our legs up towards the ceiling, so balancing the ceiling using the soles of our feet. So the feet are curled in towards the face. Let's place our hands either side of our body. We're facing up, looking up towards the toes. And just start to scissor the legs. Like bringing that right leg down, hovering it 2 inches off the floor, and drawing it back up. So inhale, let's take the left leg down. Inhale, bring it back up. Inhale, take the right down. Bring it back up. And left. And right. And left. And right. Let's keep going for another 10, 9, 8. If your legs are parallel to the floor, you're just dropping your heels and bringing it back up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's take both legs down and hover both feet off the floor. Maybe start to lift the head and the shoulders up and you're looking at your toes. Take your arms either side of your body, so you're in low boat pose for count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Release the head down. Come back into Shavasana pose. Shake out the legs. And on the inhale, let's bring the knees back in towards the chest. We're going to start to rock and roll over the length of the spine. And on your next rock up, I'm going to curl the legs under. We're going to come into our first tabletop. So we're placing the hands at the shoulders. I'm going to come into a few cat and cows. So on the inhale, let's drop the belly down, take the gaze up towards the thigh diagonal. And on the exhale, round in the upper back. Let's take 3 of these. So 3 more in your own time. Inhale to look up. Exhale to round. And again, inhale to look up. Exhale to round. 1 more. Inhale to look up. Really exaggerate that yawn. Really shine your chest forward. Exhale, press your hands into the mat. You find space in between your shoulder blades. And let's just come into a freestyle. So it is just next few moments and movements just to find your own way into your body. Discover any tight areas and maybe hold it. Maybe take your bum back to your heels and lengthen out your arms. Draw the forehead down to child's pose. Maybe we want to rock the hips forward and come to upward facing dog. Just take your own movement. And then when we're all set, let's all find ourselves come back into our tabletop. Together, let's take 1 more tabletop. Inhale to look up. Exhale to round. Look at the belly button. Let's curl the toes under. Press the hands into the mat and let's come up into our first downward facing dog. So we're going to start by walking out the feet, lifting 1 heel at a time as we come into the calf muscles. Really feel the
the mat, the ground underneath the palms. Feel a sense of balance and equilibrium as you spread the weight between the hands and the feet. Slowly, let's come into stillness by energetically drawing the heels down towards the mat, taking our gaze towards in between the legs. So lengthen out through the arms, find a space in the back. On the next inhale, let's come up high on the toes. Let's jump or step forward and meet at the front of the mat in our ragdoll. Let's sway the body from left to right. Just enjoy the feeling of weightlessness here, of allowing gravity to take control. Maybe take a slight bend in the knees. Everything safe with the head, the arms, the head. Again, the torso. And slowly start to sway the body up, coming up one vertebra at a time. As we all meet at the top of the mats in our Tadasana, in our mountain pose. So let's again take feet hip distance apart, shining the hands forward, rolling the shoulders back, taking the gaze up, looking straight ahead of ourselves. Enjoy the class. On the inhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. Follow the hands up with the gaze. On the exhale, dive the hands through the chest. As we bend from the hips, we come down to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, shoot the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer to center the chest. Inhale, let's go high with the arms. The prayer goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips as you come all the way down. Maybe take a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the shins, left out the arms. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, up we go. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms towards the center of the chest. And again, inhale. The prayer goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips as we come all the way down to our Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on the shins for a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees. Let's come all the way up with the arms, taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands in prayer towards the center of the chest. Inhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips. Let's come all the way down. Really enjoy coming to that Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins. Lengthen out the arms, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, let's get nice and tall. Really breathe beyond the fingers. Elongate through the body. Exhale. Let's bring the hands into prayer to the center of the chest. Inhale, take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips. Let's come all the way down to Uttanasana once again. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift out the arms. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, let's come on nice and high once more. Is this the last one? Maybe, maybe not. Let's take the hands into prayer towards the center of the chest. Inhale to go high. Exhale, soft to release. Fold to release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, we go high. Exhale, hands into prayer to the center of the chest. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. On the next exhale, place the hands in the front of the mat. Let's step the left foot back. Let's come high on the left toes, drop onto the left knees, come into our low lunge. Once we're grounded, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe take a slight back bend, really engage the core as you shine your chest, open up through the arms. And exhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. So along through the body, we're coming a bit deep into that right knee as we stretch out for that left hip flexor. Inhale to go high. Exhale, let's bring the hands down. Let's curl the left toes under. Jump that right foot back to meet the left. Let's meet in our Kumbhakasana, our high plank. Inhale, drop the body forward. Drop onto the knees or bend into the elbows for low plank. Press through the toes as you come up for our upward facing dog. Exhale, and curl the toes under and meet in that downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale out. On the next inhale, let's take the left leg so it's parallel off the mat. If it's there for you, take the left leg so it's going up towards the back diagonal. And on your next breath, draw the knee all the way through, stepping the left foot towards the front of the mat, drop onto that right knee, uncurl the right toes, just coming to a low lunge on the right side. Want to ground it on the inhale, taking the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, soften a bit deeper into that left knee. This whole thing to stretch into our right hip flexor. On the next inhale, let's open up through the arms as we shine our chest up towards the sky. Might be a slight back bend here. Exhale. Let's go long with the arms. So we're going to breathe in beyond the fingers. We're nice and tall for the torso. Take a deep inhale in. And on the exhale, we're going to cup the hands towards the front of the mat. Let's curl the right toes under and jump that right foot to meet the left. As we meet in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On the inhale, come into halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees. Let's get nice and tall with the arms. Exhale, bring the hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Let's go again on the right side. On the inhale, let's take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Follow the hands with the gaze. On the exhale, bend from the hips. Let's come down to our Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Rolling back the shoulders. Exhale, soften to release as you bend into the knees as much as we need to place the hands down at the front of the mat. This time we're lifting that right leg up. Stepping the right toe towards the back on the mat. Dropping onto the right knee. And curling the right toes. Once we feel grounded, inhale to lift the torso up as we take the arms up towards the ceiling. So arms at either side of the ears. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms, along in the torso. Exhale, bend a bit more to that left knee. Inhale, open up the arms, we shine the chest up. We're not dropping into the back. It's a back bend. We're lifting the torso up, going up and over. On the exhale, let's come back towards center, long in the arms. On the inhale, try and touch the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're dropping the hands down towards the front of the mat, curling the right toes under, and jumping that left foot to join the right foot at the back on the mat. As together we all meet in our high plank. On the inhale, rock falls onto the toes. Again, either drop the knees down or come straight down into our low plank. On the inhale, we're pressing the hands into the mat as we come up into a cobra or an upward facing dog. And on the exhale, we're curling the toes under. And together we meet in that downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale out. On the inhale, let's lift that right leg up. So it's parallel to the mat. Or if it's there for us today, let's take that right leg up towards the back diagonal. On the exhale, drawing the knee through. As we step that right foot at the front of the mat, drop onto that left knee, uncurl the left toes as we get ready for our low lunge, our runner's lunge. On the inhale, let's lift the torso up, take the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, let's soften into that right knee as we come a bit deeper into that left hip flexor. Really enjoy that stretch. Take a deep inhale in as we open up the arms and shine the chest up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, let's come back towards center. Long in the arms, trying to touch the sky. And on the exhale, cut all the hands down towards the front of the mat. Curl the left toes under. And jump that left foot to meet the right to the front of the mat. So together we're meeting our forward fold. On the inhale, let's come into a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees. Let's go up with the arms. Let the prayer meet at the front of at the top of the head. And on the exhale, let's bring the prayer back in towards the center of the chest. Take a deep inhale in.
And exhale out. Lovely. And again, inhale in and exhale. Let's go again. Inhale to raise the arms. Exhale to come to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend some knees. Let's lift that left leg up. Step the left foot all the way towards the back of the mat. Drop into that left knee, uncurl the left toes. Let's come up, lifting the torso up off the right thigh as we meet in our runner's lunge. Take a deep inhale in. And on the exhale, let's cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. So we're going to come into half splits. On the inhale, let's start to walk the hands back, coming up high onto the right heel, curling the right towards the face and feeling a stretch coming into our right hamstring. If you're not feeling it just yet, maybe just walk the hands forward and we're energetically drawing our chest towards our right shin. So we're long in the neck, we're not dropping the head. Really trying to find a nice stretch in that right hamstring for another 3 breaths. Another 2. Another 1. On the next breath, let's bend into that right knee. Place the hands once more at the front of the mat. We're curling those left toes under. And on the next breath, lift up the left knee and jump that right foot back to meet the left at the back of the mat. We meet in our high plank. On an inhale, rock forwards. Let's bend into the elbows for a lay plank, or maybe drop the knees. Press through the toes as we come up for a cobra or upward facing dog. On the exhale, curl the toes under. And let's meet in our downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale out. On the next inhale, we're lifting that left leg so it's either parallel of the mat or take it up towards a back diagonal. And on the exhale, let's draw the knee all the way through. Place the left sole of the foot at the front of the mat. Drop onto that right knee. Let's get ready for a low lunge on the left side. On the inhale, let's lift that torso up off that left thigh. Taking the arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale to go long in the arms. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. Let's curl the right toes under. And lift that right knee up and jump that right foot to meet the left as we meet at the front of the mat in our forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, let's come into chair pose. So bend into the knees. Let's take the arms up towards the front diagonal. Let's go for anterior tilt of the hips. So the bum is sticking out. Let's draw the hips forward. And take our gaze in between the hands and the front of the mat for 1 breath. And on the exhale, let's dive the hands down and meet in our forward fold. Inhale to come into the halfway lift, hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees. Let's go nice and high with the arms. We're long in the body, taking a gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer to the center of our chest. And we go again on the right side. On the inhale, we go high with the hands. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the front of the mat. Let's come to low lunge. Taking the right leg all the way back towards the back of the mat. Drop into that right knee and curl the right toes. On the inhale, let's come up. Exhale, release a bit deeper into that left knee. So enjoy that stretch in that right hip flexor. On the inhale, let's go nice and toward the torso and the arms. Draw the belly in, take the navel towards the spine. On the exhale, let's cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. Start to walk the hands back as we come up high. On that left heel as we come into half splits on the left side. So curling those left toes in towards our face. Let's start to walk the hands forward. As we come into
A nice stretch into our left hamstring again. Energetically, we're drawing our chest towards our left shin this time. We're long in the neck. Notice not dropping my head down. Really trying to maintain the integrity of the pose here. Take one more inhale in. And on the exhale, let's bend back into that left knee and walk the hands back towards the front of the mat. Going to lift up off that right knee. So we're going to curl the right toes under. Lift up into our, so lift the right leg is straight. And what do we do? Do we jump the right foot forward? Let's jump the right foot forward. I might have missed a sequence. Apologies if I have. We're meeting in forward fold at the front of the mat. On the inhales, come to a halfway lift. Hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, let's come to chair pose. Drop the bum down towards the mat. Let's bend into the knees and take the arms up towards the front diagonal, taking again an interior tilt of the pelvis. Let's draw the navel in towards the spine. We're going to hold it here for a count of 3. Maybe lift the toes up off the mat, a count of 2. We feel the burn in the thighs. You're not feeling the burn. Start to drop the bum a bit deeper for a count of 1. On the exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale to come into a halfway lift. Hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees. Just get nice and tall through the body, taking the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the hands into prayer at the top. Exhale, draw the prayer towards the center of the chest on the exhale. On the inhale, let's take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, soften as you bend from the hips as you come down into a forward fold. Hands on the shins for halfway lift. Exhale, let's come into Vinyasa. So the left foot back and the right foot back as we meet in our high plank. You go through chaturanga, bend into the elbows for a low plank, or drop onto the knees. Press through the toes as you come up for upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under as we meet in our downward facing dog. So we're tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. We're energetically drawing those heels down to the mat and pressing our hands into the floor to really find length in our arms and space in our back here. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. On the next inhale, let's lift that right leg up so it's parallel with the floor. On the exhale, draw the right foot all the way through. Let's meet in our warrior 1. So let's find stability in our legs here. On the inhale, let's take the arms up, either side of our ears. Again, we're drawing the navel in towards the spine, long in the torso. Take one more inhale in, and on the exhale, let's open up into warrior 2. So feel free to adjust the feet here. So you've got stability through the legs. On the next inhale, let's flip that right palm over and take reverse warrior. So the right hand goes up towards the back of the room. And on the exhale, we're coming to side angle lunge, taking the right elbow just on the inside of the right thigh. We're going to open up towards the left side of the room. On the exhale, let's come back into our warrior 2. On your next breath, let's take our hands into an interlace and get ready for humble warrior. So our hands in an interlace behind our body. Let's lengthen that through the arms. We shine the chest up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're bringing the chest on the inside of the right thigh. We're here for just one breath. Maybe lift the hands off the bum. On the next inhale, let's come back into our warrior 2. Right arm goes forward. Left arm goes back. On the next inhale, we're going to lengthen out through that right leg and get ready for Trikonasana. So you might need to reduce the gap between both feet. So I'm going to just draw my right leg in a little bit. So
The gap is a bit smaller. Both legs are straight. Left leg is pointing out towards 10 o'clock. Right foot is pointing out towards 12 o'clock. Again, let's take warrior two. Arms to the right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Let's lean the body forward as much as we can before dropping that right arm down. Maybe just sit it inside of the right shin or take it down to the floor. Take that left arm up towards the ceiling. So once again, we open up the body towards the left side of the room. Just notice if you're pushing your bum back, where you try and maintain the integrity of the pose again by just keeping your bum aligned. So you can really feel the stretch coming through. Either keep your left arm up towards the ceiling. We're going to wrap that left arm behind the lower back. Maybe if it's there for you to take the inside of the right thigh. So either the left arm is out towards the ceiling, wrapping it around the lower back, or we're going onto the inside of the right thigh. On the next inhale, let's really engage the core and bring our body back up. Come back into warrior two arms. Again, I'm going to lean the body forward. This time, bend into that right. They're going to hop onto that right foot and get ready for our first balancing pose. So jumping up onto that right foot, lifting the left leg up off the mat. So it's parallel with the floor. If you drop out, like I've just done, just take a moment and just come back into the pose. So we're coming into that, almost that inverted T. So taking all the balance into our right foot. Our left leg is parallel. Go long with that right arm towards the floor. Maybe take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Or again, wrap the left arm around the lower back. Let's hold it here for count of 3, count of 2, count of 1. Let's drop back onto that left foot. I'm going to turn the right foot in. So I'm going to face the camera. So I'm going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So we're going to angle the toes in towards center. We're going to pigeon toe the feet a little bit. Our feet are flat on the mat. Let's take our hands onto our hips. On the inhale, just take a slight back bend to shine our chest up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, again, we're bending from the hips, coming down, bringing the chest through, long again in the neck. If it's there to place your hands on the mat, then feel free to place your hands there. Maybe you want to place your hands on your upper thigh, keep your hands on your hips, or maybe on your shins. Take whichever variation is comfortable for you. If you want to go a bit wider with the feet. So you're really coming into your hips. Just go to your edge again. Maybe if your hands are on the mat, just start to walk your hands back through your legs as you start to bring your head a bit closer towards the mat. We're here for another 3 breaths. Another 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Start to come up into a halfway lift. So we're long in the back. So shining our chest forward. We're long in the neck. Soften to release. And then on the next inhale, let's bring the torso all the way up. Shuffle the feet in. I'm going to step forward. And together we're going to meet at the front of our mat. On the inhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, draw the prayer through the chest, bend from the hips, let's come down to our Uttanasana. On the inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's go through Vinyasa. Step both feet back. Let's meet in that Kumbhakasana, plank pose. Roll forward into the toes. Chaturanga, bend into the elbows for low plank. Press through the toes for upward facing dog. And on the exhale, curl the toes under for our downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale out. And again. Inhale in and exhale your own pace. Remember, you're free to take child's pose at any point during the session.
Once if you're ready, let's start by lifting the right leg up so it's parallel to the mat. We're coming into warrior one on the right side. So drawing the right foot all the way through. Once you feel nice and stable, taking that bend in that right knee, lifting the arms up so either side of the ears, and together we all meet in our warrior one. Take another inhale in, and on the exhale, we'll open the body up to our warrior two. Just the right side. Have I done the right side? I feel like we've done this side already. Wrong side. So it's left foot forward, right foot back. Let's come into our warrior two. So left arm forward, right arm back. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale, soften to release a bit deep into that left knee. On the next inhale, let's flip that left palm over and come to reverse warrior. Taking the left arm up for one breath before cantling that arm over and coming to side angle lunge. So that left elbow sits inside of the left thigh. We're going to open the body out towards the right side of the room. Maybe taking the arm up, the right arm up towards the ceiling. On the next inhale, draw the belly in as we engage for the core, come back into a warrior two. Let's take an interlace of the hands behind the lower back again. Get ready for our humble warrior. So we're going to lengthen out the arms. As we interlace the hands and shine the chest up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we're going to shine that chest forward. As we start to lift the hands up off the bum for one breath. On the next inhale, engage for the core. As we come back up into our warrior two, and start to straighten out through that left leg. Again, you might want to close up the gap as we get ready for our trikonasana. So I'm going to shuffle my left foot in a little bit before I come back into warrior two arms. Really lengthen out through that left arm. And then when you can't go any further, start to drop that left arm down so it sits inside of the left shin. Maybe taking the left hand down towards the mat. And then taking that right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe follow your gaze up towards the right hand, or let the neck be nice and relaxed and loose. You should look down towards your mat. Okay, maybe you want to wrap your right arm around your lower back. If it's there for you to grab the inside of the left thigh. Whilst in trikonasana, that'll just help you open your body a bit further up, a bit further towards the right side of the room. Wait for one more breath. On the next inhale, bend to that left knee. Let's come back up into our warrior two. Before we start to take the weight into our left foot, we're going to hop that right foot forward, or hop that right foot up, and take the weight into our left foot as we come to our balancing pose here. Again, so the right leg is parallel with the floor. Maybe take the right arm up towards the ceiling. We're here for another one breath before dropping back onto that right foot. I'm going to turn and face the camera so you can see me. This time I'm going to turn the left foot in as we get ready again for our wide-legged forward fold. So again, we're pigeon toe in, the feet in towards one another. Once again, take your hands to your hips. On the inhale, shine the chest up, and on exhale, bend from the hips. Let's come forward into our wide-legged forward fold. This time I'm going to walk the hands over towards the left side of the mat. So aiming to take your hands as close as you can towards your left foot. And let that be your guide, let that be your barometer. You can listen to your body here. See how open you're feeling today. Don't overstretching, look to do yourself an injury. If you're able to grab your left foot or your left shin, just start to guide your chest towards that shin. So you come into a nice stretch into your left hamstring here. I'm going to hold it for a count of 3, count of 2, count of 1. And then start to walk your hands in the opposite direction and over towards the right foot. So first, maybe start to go for that right shin. Or maybe it's your right thigh today. Again, just listen to your body, wherever you might find yourself. You're coming into your right hamstring and you're holding it for a count of 3, count of 2, and count of 1. Start to walk the hands back towards center. You're going to come into a halfway lift. So you start to release out of pose and release. And on the next inhale, take the navel to the spine. As you gaze for the core, we come back up towards center. And let's just shuffle the feet in towards center. And get ready for our final balancing pose. We're going to come into tree pose. So we are starting on the left foot. So really feel nice and grounded through that left foot. We're going to lift that right foot up off the mat. Turn that right foot in and place the right sole of the foot on the inside of the left calf. And let that be your pose today. Or maybe take the right sole of the foot and place it on the inside of the left thigh. Really open up the right knee towards the side of the room so you find a space for your hips. Maybe bring your hands into prayer in the center. And let that be your pose. Or take your hands either side of yourselves to aid with the balance. Whichever variation you're in, just for a couple of breaths, just close your eyes and let that test your balance and embrace falling out. Find yourself back on both feet and let's get ready for the right side. So we're taking a weight into our right foot this time, lifting up the left foot, placing the left foot on the inside of the right shin, the right calf, or maybe take the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. So again, we're opening up through the hips here. The chest is facing forward. And again, bring your hands into prayer in the center of the chest. Maybe keep your hands there or take your arms out towards the side. Really shine your chest through. Whichever variation you're in, just close your eyes for a couple of breaths. And just see what that does with your balance. And again, embrace falling out. Let's step forward towards the front of the mat. On the inhale, I'm going to take the arms out towards the ceiling. On the exhale, bend from hips as we come all the way down. On the next inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back. On the next exhale, bend into the knees as much as we need so we can start to lift the heels up off the mat, taking our bum down towards our heels, and start to walk the hands back. We're long in the body, so lengthen up through the legs. We'll start to bring the back, the shoulders, the arms, and last but not least, the head, the back of the skull down towards the mat. Facing the palms up towards the ceiling. Let's close the eyes. Let's take one final deep inhale in. We take the breath all the way through the chest, down deep into the belly. So really use the diaphragm. Breathe, 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 breathe. And sigh it out. And again, deep inhale in. And one more. And on that last exhale, just release your ujjayi breathing and come back into your natural breath. Just keep your eyes closed. Relax into your shoulders. If you're gripping in your jaw, your hands, Just release and allow yourself to be soft and relaxed and maybe even vulnerable to just allowing yourself to be, not gripping or holding here, just closing the eyes as we come into Shavasana. Let the body relax. Start to find movement in your hands or your feet. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. Draw both knees in towards the chest. Let's come into one final hug in. And then rock up into a seated position. Either sitting on a block or a thick book, or come into regular cross-legged, or come up onto your knees. Embrace any clicks or pops. Just place your hands in your lap with your eyes closed. So acknowledge your place on your mat. Acknowledge your place in whatever city or town you're in. Your place on this earth. We all got value. We all got a voice. And let yourself be heard. Let yourself be seen as we come into another week. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice. Have a great week ahead. Thank you. All done. Thank you, team. Tree pose, embracing the wobbles. Lovely, guys. It was nice to be practicing with you again. Thanks again for sharing your space. If you're watching this on repeat or playback, hope this all finds you well. And yeah, looking forward to another session next Sunday. Speaking to teachers from all over the shop, so there will be one or two again dropping in and sharing the space with us all. So keep your eyes peeled. D-Man, Akwaaba Yoga mats are coming at some point before you get in there.
Time for thought would be enjoy your football. Thanks for tuning in, Lydia. And I'm going to start gassing. D-Man, well done on last week as well. Great half marathon. I tuned in and that was, yeah, wicked, awesome. Anyway, take care, guys. God bless. In a bit. Bye-bye.